everybody, and welcome to another Just Enough Heshy show. And I have my microphone is the other way.
Welcome, everybody. Technical difficulties once again this week. Wouldn't be a show without it, so I'm going to take over and say good evening to everybody out there.
Excellent. And my Instagram, I can't get the picture right straight, but I'm fat, so I'm going to move over and hopefully it works. I want to welcome my wonderful friend Tom. You know, we have a new television screen over here, so we can actually see ourselves.
We've upgraded, Heshy.
Yeah, we've upgraded. And we have a guest, which not going to see on my Instagram, but we have her on YouTube and Facebook. And we want to welcome a wonderful lady lawyer by the name of Devorah Mendel. Devorah, say hello.
Hi.
You got to talk into the mic, Devorah.
Okay.
Pull the mic to your phone. I'm trying to teach Devorah how to talk. She's very quiet. She goes to court and kills people, and then she comes out and thinks she's a nice person.
Some intro there, Heshy, huh?
Yeah. I'm gonna turn my Instagram cameras a little bit better. Anyways, everybody, welcome to the show. You know this was a crazy week. By the way, Devorah and Tom,
Yes.
Sunday, I went to 4 weddings in 6 hours. I had the smorgasbord in downtown Jersey, in Staten Island.
Oh.
In Jersey, I had the soup and the entree. Then in another part of Jersey, I had the main dish. And then I got back to Brooklyn to my 4th wedding, I had the dessert.
Boy, Heshy, I would have thought you would have been like everybody else. They start from Brooklyn, Staten Island, New Jersey. You did it the other way
I
around,
worked
Heshy.
my way back, so I got to get back to it, 'cause I had to get to that 12 o'clock meeting. Those kids loved it over there. And then when I came home, it was 12 o'clock at night. I was exhausted. And then I had to get up, of course, 4:30 the next day. And then my campaign manager tells me the next night, Heshy, get over here. I got to meet you. I said, sweetheart, it's 7 o'clock at night. I've been going 20 hours straight, and I had to pick up my 2 granddaughters. By the way, I want to say, I want to give a shout-out to my granddaughter, Mira Nava.
Favorite part of the show.
I love when you say that every week. Layla, tomorrow, they killed me. I cooked them a fried chicken, and they actually liked it, but they just spit it out. The ketchup went all over the place. It took me like an hour to clean up after them. And then Sergeant Peter, I want to say hello to you. How are you? And my friend Ellie. And, of course, who are we shouting out for you?
Anthony
I forgot
Finkel.
about my grandson, Yeshua.
Yeshua, love you. Should put the Instagram post, by the way, with Yeshua.
Yeah.
Instagram and Facebook. Want to say hello to Anthony Finkel, Mr. Josh Bailey, and some of the new people out here on YouTube that are with us.
Yeah, welcome my YouTube, Instagram fans, Facebook fans, and, of course, what channels are we on live today?
620 WSNR, that's my favorite personally for different reasons.
Yeah.
93.5 FM, WVIP, and WJPR, 1640 AM. Can never forget about 1640 AM.
You can't forget about them, and of course we have a call-in number tonight, which
646
you can't call it in because the producer's standing here, so he won't be able to post it.
Well, he could actually cut our mics off, so we have to be a little kind to him.
Oh, he does cut my mic off from
Well,
time to time.
no comment on that, because I don't want mine being cut.
Devorah, you said hello very nice. Can you ask you a question? What is your name?
Devorah.
That's it? You're going to talk low? Talk lower. Not like scream.
We are live here,
Can
you
you
know.
just, we are live. Just say, Devorah!
Devorah Mandel.
Her mic is not working so good, producer. Oh, now it's okay. Okay.
So
now
while
they're
you
here.
figure that out, the call number is 646-974-1580. That is 646-974-1580.
If you want to call in live, and don't speak to me and Tom, you're going to be speaking to Devorah today. Devorah, I have a question for you. Are you a lawyer?
Yes, I am.
Good. And I want you, we're going to ask you a couple of questions of law. We know you're going to lie to us because we're not paying you for your billing time. But we don't
Boy,
care.
what a start.
We're not, I'm not paying. She's going to bill, but I'm not paying. I'm broke. She knows I'm broke. Here's my card. Please.
Well, at least this is one lawyer that understands us compared to the last lawyer that we had.
Right, the
on the
last
campaign.
lawyer just kept charging us.
Still is, probably.
We have now joined, to my knowledge, we joined our 3 live stations. Welcome to 620 AM. Thank you for joining us, WSNR, and 1640, WJPR 1640, and WVIP 93.5. Welcome to all my listeners on the show, and we're going to start our show. You understand, Tom and Devorah, that tonight is the big debate of the Republicans' debate. And people are watching it and not watching it. Is it important? We even had a guest on the show tonight that canceled because he wanted to watch the debate. I heard there was going to be 8 million viewers, 15 million viewers. Here's my problem, Tom. Trump does not have to be at this debate. It's a stupid debate.
So it's not a debate then.
No. But here's my problem. I had a good point today that somebody told me. They said, you're right. Trump wins 67 to 14%.
Right.
The problem is he's going to get the Republican nomination, but none of the Democrats. Nobody else will vote for him. He has no chance against Biden. So why is he wasting the time of becoming the Republican nominee that even though you're right, he wins the nomination, he has no chance to win the election?
Well, I mean, a long time.
Those are what all the candidates are
We
gonna
have a
say today.
long time from now until the general election, but obviously, no Trump, no debate.
No Trump, no debate. Again, there was no reason for him to be debate because all you know is... And anyways...
And there's no reason for him to debate if he's the front runner, because clearly the field, you just rattled off the numbers, Heshy. What was it, 67 to 14
Right,
you had?
right.
So if you're Trump and you're in the lead, what do you gain from going
Well,
to a debate?
right, I agree, but there should have never been a debate, and all these candidates shouldn't jump in. These candidates are saying that Trump, not only is he going to win the nomination, but he never has a chance only because he's... My question to you is, DeVoe, just one stupid question. You know there's a federal law and there's a state law, correct?
Correct.
So if you are working for the federal government at the time, the state can't charge you for a criminal act. That's what I understand from the laws. That if you're a federal employee, that's what this guy Mark Meadows is doing, and another one. They're trying to get a stay because they were federal employees. A federal employee cannot get charged for a state crime if he was in a federal. Is that true?
I don't know.
Thank you for your answer. Wonderful. Now you know why we're not paying her. Well,
I'll plead the fifth.
I love you,
Legal
DeVoe.
terms
I
there,
love you.
Heshy.
You're great. You're great. Anyways, do you like Trump or Biden? She's not answering. You gotta answer. This is you're not a guest that you have a right. You have to actually answer your calls. Are you like Trump or Biden?
I'm not political.
You are. It's. I hate when they tell me that. It's impossible. You're telling me you're walking down the street and you see Donald Trump. You're not going to say hello.
That doesn't mean...
Sure you are. You're going to say hello, Mr. President. Okay. Anyways, we always tell a joke and a quote. At least one thing DeVoe would do for me, and at least laugh at the stupid joke. It's not stupid. It may be this week. Here's my quote. It's a simple quote. It's an easy quote. Not complicated, and this is what I want to tell you because I've been all over this week. I go visiting people. I fought the city. I fought the stop work orders. I went to weddings. I even went to a funeral. I've been all over. And I ran my job, and people are saying, well, Heshy, go back and make money. I said, you know what? Here's my quote. I never dreamed about success. I worked for it. I work every day. 18, 20-hour days, 15 hours a day. So whenever somebody tells me that, oh, Heshy, oh, you're so lucky, I work hard for my success. And that's another thing what I want to tell you. You have to realize the truth. Do you know with your climate, I'm going to get to the political part of the show in a minute in my joke. The climate, what's it called again? Climate control? What's it?
Climate change?
Climate change, the green effect. I want you to know, and overpopulation. I was reading a report and I heard a video of that if you take all 9 billion, which we don't have, citizens of this country and give them 1,000 square meters, they can fit into the whole continent of Brazil. So we're not running out of room. You can feed 150 billion people, not 9 billion, 150 billion. Or 36 billion families of like 4 or something, if we just we have enough food to feed us. So what is Bill Gates busy with? What is Kamala Harris busy with? Why are you killing us out? Because we're running out of room. There's more than enough room.
Because they're elites. Clearly they're elitists.
I got that. You know what they want to do? They want to take away our freedom and they want to put in more controls. That's my issue here. And
As
Tom,
far as I'm concerned, we lost our freedoms with COVID.
well, we're going to talk about that because I know
We're going to
that.
get to that, Heshy.
Anyway,
but that's how
here's
I
my
feel.
joke, and let me tell you what happened. We babysit our grandchildren from time to time, and I was giving my little grandson the other night, a couple of weeks ago, and Linda wakes me up, and it's 3 o'clock in the morning. And Linda starts tapping me and pushing. She says, "Heshy, wake up, wake up!" I said, "Why, Linda? What is it?" She says, "It's the baby." I sat up. I quickly listened. I said, "I don't hear the baby." She says, "I know. It's your turn to find out why." I mean, this girl just doesn't stop bothering me. 33 years, she finds a way to torture me, even if there's nothing wrong.
Just think what the next 33 will be like.
Oh God, Tom, you're fired, Tom.
Devorah, you're taking over.
So Linda tells me, says, Heshy, don't tell the joke about me this week. Of course I was going to tell the joke. So Linda says, please tell this joke. So I wrote it down. Here's a joke from Linda. Linda is telling you the joke this week.
The joke of the day.
So here's Linda's joke of the day. There was a wealthy businessman that was choking on a fishbone in a restaurant. And he was fortunate that there was a doctor seated nearby. And he jumps up and the doctor skillfully removes the bone and saved his life. As soon as the fellow calmed down and he could talk again, he thanked the surgeon and he offered to pay him for his services. So the doctor says, you know what? You just name whatever you want to pay me. Okay, but the doctor said, remember, just pay me half of whatever was in that you promised when the bone was stuck in your throat. You know what I mean? When people are dying, I promised the world. And now that he's better, he doesn't get, okay. Well, I like my joke better. Linda's joke was no good.
Well, it's safe to say Linda's jokes won't be in regular form of the
Right.
show here.
Tom,
Yes, sir.
fact or not a fact. They're saying, according to the TSA, we're going to be wearing masks. You told me three different.
Lionsgate Films, I heard Rutgers University, William Brown in Georgia. Get ready, buckle up, because fall's coming, Heshy.
I don't
Fall's
care.
coming.
And why? There's a new variant from Canada now. Is that it?
At this point, there'll be variants forever.
I don't understand. Devorah, it's masks is not legal. It's not legal. You're forcing me to wear a mask? Shaking your hand on the radio doesn't work that way, Devorah.
We're live. We're live.
You know, they can see you on the camera, but okay, fine. Anyways,
But you know, Heshy, just one real quick
anybody
point
who wants to talk to Devorah, please call into the show. What number?
646-974-1580.
Don't worry about it. Devorah, as you can see, doesn't shut up. She will just keep talking.
You know, Heshy, just one point, though, on the COVID mask. How much can people really fall for this stuff? Time and time again. We've talked about this. You've been talking about
But it's not even they're falling for it. You're right. You and me on the street, we're going to laugh at them. We're going to laugh at the police. The police won't do it. But when we get to the airport and TSA says you can't cross over without a mask, what are we going to do? I'm going to push my way in. But you know that if you get crazy in the airport, it's a federal offense. And a federal offense is very, very bad. And it's not like Curtis Lewa being arrested yesterday at Floyd Bennett's field. It's a serious thing. And you can get 10 years for just acting crazy or screaming on a plane. You know that.
Now, there's one coincidence with all this, Heshy. One coincidence. We're 15 months till next year's election.
But it's going to start now.
Exactly.
It's going to start now.
Exactly. I want to read off some comments here.
Go
if you
ahead,
don't mind.
read some comments.
So we have, obviously, Anthony Finkel wants to give you some good words of encouragement. I could be watching Trump on Tucker. I could be watching the Republican debate on Fox. But
Mr. Finkel, you'll be bored. I mean, come on.
Well, that's
You're
what
going
he
to
was
see
saying.
Fat Chris Christie say what?
Well, that's why he was saying he was watching us instead. Lenny, of course, is here saying
Lenny.
we speak freely here.
I love Lenny.
Also,
You know, Lenny was at a protest tonight.
Yes, and I watched it on my way here.
There was, what I understand, there was over 1,000 people at the protest.
Yes, from what I heard, there was over 1,000. The Staten Island Advance had reported 500.
Now, we're going to start with protest. So what is this protest about?
Well, basically, there was the old...
I'm sorry, everybody. My son gave me half of his sandwich. It was no good. I don't know. I told him to get a fresh sandwich, but he gets a cheap sandwich. I don't know what to do.
So basically, real quick, coming back to it. So there's an old Catholic school that's being converted to a public school, and in the meantime, as the city is doing everywhere, they want to take this site, which the school construction authority owns, and they want to put, quote unquote, within 60 days, 300 migrants there. So there was a rally.
And what about Floyd Bennett's Field? There
Floyd
was
Bennett Field,
a
1,000
rally
they wanna put.
yesterday.
In fact, Floyd Bennett Field, it's such an outrage that you have even Frank Seddio, who was at one time the Democratic Party leader of Brooklyn, who's a district leader still, actually came out against the situation with the migrants coming to Floyd Bennett Field. So that tells you right now the temperature that people are feeling right now.
And I'm so happy Devorah is here to advise us. Devorah, you know that there is that Floyd Bennett's Field doesn't belong to the state or the city.
Federal.
It's a federal thing.
Originally,
We're not allowed to use that property.
And originally, the federal government had disagreed with the state and city to put the migrants there, but then they
So
now
she's
agreed.
allowed to break the law, and she's allowed to break the law to use this federal fee for the migrants and build this temporary fake housing without any permits, and we cannot commit any crimes or get in trouble. Is that correct?
Pretty much. Pretty much.
Thank you for your advice.
So, just real quick on some of the comments.
I hate this sandwich. I should have never, and I quit smoking, so I shouldn't be coughing. But that sandwich was so terrible. Where did he get that sandwich? I want to go.
So while you think about the sandwich here, we have some new people. Vincent Urena says hello. Also, Trump has lost every case that has ended up at the Supreme Court. Those so-called conservative judges are a disgrace. My friend Josh Bailey asked, what kind of lawyer is Devora? If she wants to answer, obviously she's kind of quiet here on the radio.
Devora does appeals, and Devora also fights. She's not a criminal lawyer, not yet.
And
not
Lenny
till I get
also-
arrested. Once I get arrested, I'm going to beg Devora to
Lenny
help us out.
also wants to point out where the situation is, where they want to put this temporary, quote-unquote, migrant housing here, where the school is.
But I want to ask Lenny a question.
Sure.
You're right, Lenny, we're going to protest, and we're going to keep protesting. There's nothing we can beat Hochul. There's nothing we can't even beat the mayor because, oh, by the way, I want you to put this up on the screen, producer. On Sunday,
2
this
o'clock.
Sunday, August 27th, there you go, I printed you out a
Gracie
copy.
Mansion, 2 o'clock.
Right, you heard about that?
Yes, I did.
Lenny and Scott Liberto
Yes.
is creating a protest to stand in front of the mayor's mansion. And he wants the migrants, put them in there. If the mayor takes migrants, I'm going to take migrants into my house. But the mayor is on vacation. While the city has crime, while the city has killings, while this, little babies are being beaten by hammers, it just doesn't end. We are protesting. The mayor is on vacation in Israel. And what's disgusting me now, and I'm talking to not only to my audience, but to my Jewish brothers and sisters, they took him to a big rabbi who was sitting in a bed sick. The man is laying in a bed sick, and they took pictures with the rabbi sitting there with me.
You know what that means, Heshy? I'm going to tell you why he's there very simply. He knows that the Democratic primary is in a year and a half from now. This is all about his own election because he knows there was an article that came out last week in one of the city publications that was talking about the fact that progressives are looking to find someone to challenge Adams, and he's doing that, going there.
Does Curtis have a chance?
Well, in a general election, I don't think Curtis would have a chance, but Adams is worried about a Democratic primary. That's why he's going to Israel, because he's trying to shore up support. Just like he's going, if you look at everything he's done demographically, he's basically worried about the primary already.
And he knows the money's coming from the Jewish community, which I don't know why we're supporting.
Remember,
him.
he didn't win that primary by much. We spoke about this here a few weeks ago.
And he didn't, and he only won because of the
ranked choice voting.
Yes.
Yes.
Otherwise, he would have had a runoff.
We might have Maya Wiley as the mayor right now.
Oh God, kill me! Yeah.
I don't think we'd be living in New York right now. God help us.
My dear friends, on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook, the cameras of congestion pricing is going up. I saw pictures of them putting up the cameras.
So did I. I was in the city Monday.
Right. And there's nothing you can do because I can't, we can still stop it. If I get into city council, I'm going to find a way to stop it. And you think I'm joking around about the politicians and the city bossing us around. I went to 2 inspections this week with the Department of Buildings. Beautifully passed. The lady fixed up the house, everything according to code. The inspector walks in a dumbbell. I swear to you. I don't think he has any competent thing. And we showed him the I-card. An I-card is not a plan. It's something that was created by the city itself but in the 1940s and 50s and 30s. And that card trumps or supersedes if there's no kind of a C of O or a set of plans. Plain and simple, that this I-card tells you what the use of this house is. We presented it. The man comes and says to me, the inspector says, well, I need to see the original. I said, are you crazy, from 1945 or 1950? I said, I printed out a copy. He says, no, I wanted you to go down and get a certified copy. I said, it's online. You type in hpd.com, and I emailed it to you 2 weeks in advance. You could have told me that. Well, I'm failing the inspection. Then I showed him that it's one big room. He says, well, the full height partitions are there. I said, no, it's not. They're archways. No, and he took pictures and he submitted it to his chief. I swear to God. I run up to the chief. I run from downtown Brooklyn I run from the Bushwick to downtown Brooklyn.
Oh, wow.
I went to the chief. I said, Chief, the guy lied. The chief takes out his pictures. I said, Chief, here are pictures with me and the inspector in the picture. I took pictures of him. Well, you have different pictures. I said, different pictures? It was just taken. Your guy's playing a game. You failed this person for no reason. After he said, are you calling my inspector a liar? I said, yes, you better not do that. I swear. I have 2 witnesses that are with me. So anyways, after fighting with him and saying, listen, I'm going to present this. I'm a media guy. I'm going to present it to Internal Affairs. He says, you know what? I'm going to send you another inspector, completely different. I said, but this first one is a pig. And then here's the best part. He comes over to me and says, I know you signed off the job and you did all your permits. I want you to remove the sheetrock from the walls. I said, you kidding me? The building is finished. I don't have tools. You're here to inspect the existing occupied conditions. No, I want you to remove it from the walls. I said, but we did all those inspections. These people are stupid. They're incompetent. They have no history. When I get into city council, the first thing I'm going to say is, you want to work as an inspecting plumber? I want 5 years experience like me. You want to work as a thing? What these guys are doing is they're making $60,000, $70,000 a year without any experience. They try to put in about 10 years and they get their pension. So they start working at 25, 35, retire, get 20% only. And then they move up. Now, with all the inspectors leaving because the private sectors paying them more, these guys are being promoted up to supervisors like after 2 or 3 years, and they're making.
They don't have the experience.
It's not experience. They're telling the younger people what to do when they themselves don't know what to do.
Well, that's why the city's in the direction it's in. But just real quick, I want to come back to the situation in Staten Island because Lenny had wanted me to mention where the neighborhood is, and it's actually a neighborhood called Aracor. It's between Aracor and Grasmere, which is right off the Verrazano Bridge for the Brooklyn audience here, and basically it's a place that's very suburban, a lot of $1 million homes, almost mansion-likes, and basically the reason that this kind of situation is important is because it's going to be everywhere. You know, this is going to be.
You have
everywhere.
72,000 migrants more coming in all the time.
And 100,000 already since last spring.
100,000, and we can't take care of our homeless population, and you're taking care of these guys. You're speed tracking. Listen to this: their work permits and their what else are they giving them? And now my people who sit here for 3 or 4 or 5 years, who are getting their green cards or applying and denying them, you're failing them. I know a lady called me this week. She says, Heshy, I got my green card. I was ready to go for the swearing in, and her husband's an American, her children are American. Her mother died. Her mother was very sick, and she ran to Israel because she was born over there to take care of her mom. She went there, and she took care of her mom with her whole family. She brought her whole family over, and she lived there for 3 years. She missed this swearing in. Her green card expired. She didn't fill out the application. She now refilled it out. Remember, she has a green card. Green card means you're a resident. So they denied her. They said, you can't come back to America. You have to reapply from the beginning. Now, all she had to do was go to Mexico or what's the other place, wherever the migrants are coming from,
Colombia,
cut over the border, and she would have been here for free. You got that, DeVoe?
I did.
Again, isn't that unfair? I mean, there's no way around it. It's a catch-22. You know, I'm not going to tell you people to revolt, but enough is enough. They're coming for us. I know what you're going to say, Heshy, you're treason. You're talking treason like Trump to the country. It's not. It's not. They're coming after us. We have to fight back. We have to create an army. Maybe it's time for a revolution in America.
I would say, Heshy, in the last week, if you've noticed, like some of the protests, you mentioned Creedmoor, you mentioned Floyd Benefield here in Brooklyn, obviously the one.
And there's going to be many more.
And that's
many more streets being blocked, more time wasted in the city shutting down, people running away. We're going to lose money. We're right back to where we started. And you know why they're doing this? Because the election is coming, so we're going to unfocus from Trump.
Yeah, yes, but I do think that locally, at least take from a local lens, I do think that people are starting to wake up because if you've seen these protests and the amounts of people, I'm not saying
No.
They had 1,000 people tonight. They had 1,000 people.
I know 1,000 people that came now, and they'll come for the first couple of weeks because it's something new. But they're going to stop. A protest means you got to constantly be on top of it. You saw what the Black Lives Matter did.
And you were there at Max Public House, by the way. And you were there at Max Public House a few years back.
That's right. There. But again, after a while, the people stop coming. You want to fight, you got to keep fighting. I know they're going to come after us. I know one thing, my dear Tom, and don't get angry when I'm going to say it. Devorah, I know you're going to speak up and scream at me right now.
And Josh Bailey wants Devorah to blink twice if you need help on the radio.
Right. Devorah's going to get very angry. See how Devorah's getting angry at me the whole show already. You know what I mean? Stop it, Devorah. Stop screaming at me. I want to tell you something. What do I want to say? I want to cough. That's why I want to take a drink of water.
Yeah, take the water because that's what Lenny's telling you. Drink the water.
Okay, thank you, Lenny. My point to you is they're going to come after my community. And who's going to stand up? I don't think I'm going to do it again. I don't think I can go through that again. I don't think I can cut those locks again. I don't think I can stand up to the police. I don't want to go back to jail. I'm not crying. Don't get me wrong. I want to know if there'll be other people to step up, and you'll watch they won't. They're going to take us. They're going to rip us down. I'm going to get so angry. Of course, I'm going to stand up. The point is I don't want it to happen. There's no reason for me to do it again. But you're going to see Carmen Yeager, Simcha Eichenstein, and Simcha Feld nowhere to be found in the beginning.
In fact, Kalman Yeager's going to have his mask on in October. You watch, because we talked about the mask. We talked about that. These guys are Democratic politicians who represent us. They're going to be putting those masks back on.
And I want you to know, Carmen Yeager says, he opened the parks and he didn't force the masks. On Twitter, there's a quote from his father. You're talking Carmen Yeager's father, who Carmen Yeager was locked in his basement for 3 months, stating simple and plain, I'm walking around my Jewish area in Borough Park and Flatbush and nobody's wearing masks but me. He tweeted to the world to embarrass his own brothers and sisters. Now, again, it wasn't his own brothers and sisters. It was his own community, his neighbors. But again, these are not the way we treat our fellow man. And look, we are now, 2 years after the pandemic. We didn't have 2.5 million people die. I don't care what you're telling me about the flu and COVID. The nation didn't collapse. Yeah, we lost millions of dollars and billions of jobs, or billions of dollars and millions of jobs. We created a generation of laziness, of people just getting things. We took our budget and added 1/3 of trillions, not billions, trillions into
those
our
stimulus
budget.
checks were the worst thing to ever
The
happen.
dumbest thing in the world,
They were the worst thing.
I couldn't get it because supposedly I got a discount on my taxes, or I got something. I don't know
People
what.
got whatever it was, $2,000. But hey,
I want the $2,400. You know what I can do with $2,400?
A lot of things, but they never thought they were going to have to work again, and that's.
And they thought they'd get other ones, and other people got other stimulus checks. People got unemployment. It was just crazy. I worked. I didn't take a day off. I kept going. I kept fighting for my community. I kept doing my community service. I'm not bragging to you people. What I'm getting angry is, and I don't know why this stupid Instagram pushing buttons keeps going off. I guess it's low.
Well, that's the beauty of technical difficulties
right,
here.
My point that I'm trying to tell all of you is that I can't allow this to happen. And I can't fight it myself, and we need to keep coming out. But you know what? I mean, maybe we need to raise an army, but again, by threatening the United States government, it is treasonous. I mean, even though the Fifth Amendment and the First Amendment and all those other amendments allow me to say whatever I want, but it seems like it doesn't.
So on the federal level, I'll say this. I mean, if Republicans who control the House have any spine, they should be out there raising hell and fighting tooth and nail to stop these mass mandate possibilities or all these crazy things.
Yeah, why don't you commit a law?
The Republicans control the House. They control the House. They control the funding. Why aren't they fighting?
And I told Simcha Eichenstein and Carmen Yeager, our councilman, please create legislation that there can never be another emergency mandate or emergency anything. But you think they did that? They had to do it in the last city council, the one before. So when Mayor Adams decides to stand up there and make some emergency, what was it again? Not a mandate. What did he do? It was an emergency. What was that called, DeVoe? When the mayor, de Blasio, he did some kind of emergency thing that he was able to take over the city.
Basically, he declared almost like kind of in a way like it's a city emergency, where it's like a COVID emergency under an extraordinary.
And I want that to stop. I don't want him to have that power. That mayor, our governor, has no right to have that power. But you know what I mean? By the way, I'm not holding the pen, so it's not like a baby thing the whole time. That's what our psychiatrist said. Our
Kevin Stone, the Hollywood hypnosis
guy said that I'm a little baby, and
a few people were actually wondering because, and I'll bring this up at the beginning. They were actually had emailed Mr. Stone. They had not got back to them, so I'll make sure to let him know. So if anybody who had emailed him and didn't get an email back, let us know at justenoughheshy@gmail.com.
Right.
So.
If you want to call into the show again, what's our number?
646-974-1580. That's
right.
646.
You can come and ask, and you can ask DeVoe any question that you feel like. My problem here is now the pigs. What's her name again? Willis. What's the prosecutor's name? I have it somewhere. Willis, her name is?
Yes.
Okay. I understand. Let's just say for a moment that I accept that she arrested Trump. Mm-hmm. And all those other people. You then go and you post his mugshot? That's not allowed. He's not guilty yet. Isn't he in it? I mean, DeVoe, let me ask you a question. It's a legal question. This is an easy one. Is it true that we are innocent till proven guilty?
I think so.
Thank God you answered that question, finally. Do I get charged for that one? That one.
Let me write that down. Deborah spoke.
I can bill you.
You better bill me for that because I didn't know that we're innocent. So that we are innocent till we're proven guilty. Why do they have a right, Tom, to show mugshots and embarrass us? And they're happy, and they warned us beforehand. It's not allowed because in case Trump does win the case, they have to destroy all those mugshots and paperwork. Isn't that correct?
Apparently so. You're supposed to in any case, at least from what I learned.
So now they posted it so the whole world has it. No matter what, if Trump wanted a regular job like working in the coal mines, they would see his mugshot. I mean, whatever. But it's an example that if anybody who was on that list, Meadows or other
Maybe
people.
that could be an idea for the next Celebrity Apprentice, Trump in the coal mines.
I don't think so. But you have no right legally to. Isn't that true? You have no right to legally post those mugshots. He's not guilty. What are you posting those shots? I don't know. I hear noise in the background from our control booth. Why isn't our control booth just quiet and putting it on mute? I don't know. There's too many people in there. We have too many people here today talking.
Too many cooks in the kitchen.
Too many cooks in the kitchen. Again, I'm unhappy about it. And Rudy Giuliani, what you did to that poor man. Okay.
I even read something the other day that there was some liberal writer had said, well, now we know that really his leadership during September 11th really wasn't cracked up as what it was to be, which has nothing to do with anything.
Now, did you hear what his lawyer, I saw his lawyer on a television show stating that there were 67,000 false votes, 14,000 dead votes. Did you hear the numbers they were going over in Georgia? That they actually have the evidence that over 150,000 of those votes were no good.
Well, look, I mean, we talked
They were on
about
television. He didn't make it up. The lawyer for President Trump came out and said there were people that were on the dead rolls that were not removed that voted. There were people that were submitted late voting registration, or people that didn't live in their districts where they were supposed to vote from. And he came up with like 150,000 fake votes. Explain it to me.
Well, what I'll explain it is when you have this mail-in ballots or these absentee voting, these no-fault absentee voting, this is what you get, where people, that they get a ballot, it's mailed in, they didn't know they vote. I mean, we saw it here in New York in 2020. Yeah. There was a state senate election in this particular area just outside of our office that the guy was winning by 3,000 votes on election day and lost the election because all of a sudden the absentee ballots came in, and the Board of Elections actually mailed to voters 2 ballots to the same house,
right,
to the same person.
Right.
So can you imagine what happened in a presidential election in places like Arizona, Georgia, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Nevada, all these places where all of a sudden Trump...
But Tom, what about all those videos that we saw people stuffing mail-in ballots into mailboxes? Why didn't they drop them off at the Board of Elections? We saw those videos? We saw real videos. We saw people testifying about it. And we still say there's no voter
And we have people that want to have this again. There are people that want us to go through the same exercise we went through in 2020.
I don't know if I could take it anymore. It's just too aggravating. The problem is if we stop all the elections, then what's going to happen is we're going to have a bunch of people take us over and control our lives.
Well, we have the same people in office, basically. What you're saying.
Yeah. This is. I mean, I understood. I always wanted a continuance of the presidency. I hated when we switched Democrat, Republican. I hated it. It just bothered me. I liked when we continued, but we needed the right candidate. But now it just doesn't work for me. I want to get off the subject of it, and I want to show you guys that you think that the world order doesn't exist. The WHO was taken away, what was it, $250 million by President Trump, and all of a sudden, who gave him? Bill Gates threw the money in.
Of course.
You can't do that. I mean, Bill Gates is up to something. But it's not only the World Health Order. There's a bunch of people on top. Who are they? Everybody says, who are they? There's no they. There is a group of people that push out their little idealisms to other people, throw money like the World Health Organization. Of course, they're not going to tell Bill Gates is the man. But when Bill Gates gives them $250 million and he says, these are some of the policies that we'd like you to push, of course, they're going to push it, and that's it. And then the World Health Organization does it, and then other people listen to it, and then Bill Gates and his little minion do whatever their thing and already tricked us. Let me give you an example. Who was the guy that was fighting Putin? What's his name?
Zelensky?
Not Zelensky. Zelensky is Ukrainian.
Right.
That general that ran away, that tried to take over Moscow?
Was it Victor something or something?
Whatever, whatever. I forgot his name. What's his name? That's not his name, Progressionov. Whatever. So this guy was a general, and he had 25,000 soldiers that worked for him and Putin. He was killing and murdering and raping Ukrainians. He was killing and raping and murdering Ukrainians. And who did he have as his soldiers? Murderers, rapists, and killers. This is Putin. So the man went, and Putin, told him, listen, you're not a real army, and we're going to screw you. We're not going to give you backup. So the guy got pissed. He took these 25,000 murderers, killers, and rapists and said, I'm coming after you, Mr. Putin. And he did great. He just kept going. Nobody could stop him. He was inches away from Moscow. And all of a sudden, Putin made a deal with him, whatever, stop, because Putin, I heard he was on the run. Yep. Stop, go away, we're going to give you your freedom. I'm sure that he said, we'll give you $2 million, leave your crew to us, and we'll take it over. And most of his people ran away because most of them were from jail. Now, they went and killed him, of course, today he was killed.
Yes.
Okay. Did you expect him not to get killed by Putin? Did he expect not to get killed? Now, here's a murderer, rapist, killer that was a general. He should have been killed. I'm happy he died. I'm not happy he got away with it. He should have. The dumbbell knew that once you attack Moscow or go after your president, you ever think you're going to get away with a deal like that? I mean, what kind of an idiot he was? Or go into hiding or go to Brazil or go somewhere. Maybe he spent all his money or maybe he didn't get enough of it. My point is I have no mercy for that murderer, killer, rapist. None whatsoever, Instagram fans. Just let me put it. You can post it all over. I don't like murderers, killers, and rapists. And, of course, here's the world order. Putin couldn't have done it alone. He had people watching. I'm sure people from other countries. I'm sure this guy was good. This guy he was able to get away. He ran a 25. He must have had some kind of network. They got him.
You have to
this is the world order. When somebody stands up to you, even if he's a rapist, murderer, killer, we'll get him. We're going to get you. And this guy got it. And it's not only him. I don't know why they never got Snowden, the guy who ran to Russia.
Yep.
I guess because Russia, he is really protecting that guy. I don't know how they're protecting him, but that's a traitor to the country.
Well, he must have information out there that certainly that they value, and that's kind of where it's at with that. Almost.
So when you tell me about the higher-ups, you're right. There's not one gang. There is a top elite gang. They said... who was it? The Illuminati. You know what the Illuminati is?
Yes, I've heard of
This is a group of people that are super thing like the Masons. And
the Freemasons.
The Freemasons.
Yeah.
They control the world. Who did they say now is a Freemason they found? I forgot somebody. Somebody, I think the one who killed Martin Luther King was part of the Freemasons. John F. Kennedy was a Freemason.
I was about to say, every president, I think except Trump, is a Freemason or something like that.
Is that true?
I'm almost certain I heard that.
Why would they be Freemasons? I understood when the country started, but now the Freemasons...
I actually once was offered to join that, and I said no.
I said no. But I'm offered all the time that I get these Instagram and YouTube messages that if you pay us $25, $50 for the application, and then we're going to induct you. I said, do you know I'm Jewish? I can't do the Christian thing.
I actually was offered.
We take Jews into the...
No way.
We take Jews in. It's just another scam. Some guy in Nigeria who's making believe he's a woman and showing his name.
But there's actually a place in Manhattan where they do the initiation and the whole process. I was like, I had somebody.
But that it's the Satan. You are.
Oh, I didn't do it. I
know that, but again, you're taking an oath from Satan.
And Black Beauty wants to confirm that not every president other than Trump is a Freemason.
Good. I understood how the Freemasons started the country and were part of it, but these new Freemasons are not part of the idealistic. Again, those 56 men or whatever that started this country, they actually gave us their lives.
And not JFK, by the way. JFK was not a Freemason.
Oh, he wasn't?
No.
Well, his father was a Nazi. I like JFK.
So do I.
I've read about him. Again, he died too young, and they killed him quickly. And again, if you would actually look into John F. Kennedy's, the way he was going, his path was he was doing what was it? Not the civil rights, but what was the organization he started? Not the Red, that goes all over the world. forgot what it is. You know,
Not the Red Cross.
Not the Red Cross. It's like a
Volunteer. It's
right.
a volunteer group that goes out.
That goes out all over the world.
Peace Corps.
The Peace Corps.
Peace Corps.
Again, that is something I happen to like that idea.
I remember actually I knew somebody in college that went to the Peace Corps. It's actually like a really noble thing.
But the whole idea of no war and even you know, again, Kennedy's idea was something of the left idea. But again, he was living in a world which had a lot of right, but he was pushing his agendas to the left. And I believe that if he would have had a second term, he would have been more left, and he would have been like now. You know, I agree that women should have the right to vote. Is that correct, DeVoe? You can't shake your head, DeVoe.
Yes.
We can't see that on the radio.
By the way, Josh Bailey wants to say his friend Joe is a Freemason, who I think I might know his friend Joe is a Freemason, but I don't.
But Freemason is not the satanic. It's the Illuminati that's satanic, right? I'm not sure, but I thought the Illuminati is part of the Catholic Church. Yeah. So how could the Catholic Church worship the Satan?
Well, that's a question that I'm sure we'll have to ponder to the end
We'll
of
have
time.
to ponder. You know what? I want to join the Freemasons, as long as I don't have to pay. I'm broke. DeVoe, I need $25 to join that application. You're a lawyer. Oh, right. She bills me. I don't bill her.
Well, the call-in number is 646-974-1580 there.
It's okay. My producer doesn't know how to pick up the phones anyways. He hangs up on all of you. Again, let's go. What do you think is going on with the president? DeVoe, I mean, you're not political. Got that. Understand you're not political. So, do you vote?
I do.
So you do choose a president. You just don't want to tell us who. Is that correct? You can't keep shaking your head.
Maybe she's writing your name in Heshy.
I wish she was. I mean, DeVoe is, you know, I want you to know about DeVoe. She helped me out a lot in my campaign. She's not political. She's just an advisor. She even paid for my ticket to the Pecan. This girl right over there.
So this is one lawyer that was helpful
actually
to
likes
you?
me.
That,
All the
one
other
lawyer that
lawyers.
was helpful to you on this campaign?
Oh, she's already giving me advice. She's setting me up. She even had me speaking. She always tells me how good I do, even though she lies. She knows that I mess up. I like DeVoe. She actually, this is what a person is. These are what people do. You do the little
This is what's
things.
driving the ratings tonight.
Right.
They're going through the roof.
Right. We are shocked tonight because we never had a great co-host like DeVoe.
Greatest one you've had in show history.
Right.
I just
DeVoe,
let you talk.
I love you, DeVoe. I mean, you're just great, DeVoe. I mean, this show needed a woman.
You can fire me now and just have Devorah come into the chair.
No, DeVoe is too chatty. I can't handle DeVoe.
Too much.
Too
for
much.
it.
Too
Yeah,
much.
all
It's
right.
like just enough Heshy. You can't have too much DeVoe.
Just keep that jazz jingle at the beginning.
I know that. I
of the
do.
show.
I do.
That's
I
a
do.
good one.
It's a very good one. Right, I know. DeVoe, one question for you. And I'm going to ask you a question. I'm not asking you a political question. In your opinion, as a legal person, does Trump have a chance to win the case? Or like everybody says, he has no chance? Come on. Come on, you're a lawyer. You've seen it. We spoke about it. Millions of people speak about it day and night. I'm getting sick of it every time I turn on the TV. I have the CNN, the Fox, even the Cartoon Channel is talking about the Trump's indictments and all of that. What's going on? And for the last 2 weeks, how they have to turn themselves in.
I think he'll be like Teflon.
But my point is if this stupid prosecutor has no chance, doesn't it make sense that she wastes millions and millions of dollars? Millions of dollars are going to go here to prosecute them, and she most likely might lose.
Well, she gains prominence in her party.
That's not what politics is about.
Oh, I mean, we'll have to find out, right? We'll have to find out.
I don't want to find out, but
Yeah, we have no choice.
Now, you know, the guy who killed the 4 people in Iowa, you know, there's a guy who killed 4 people in Iowa. He claims he's not guilty, but they tracked his cell phone and phone. He's indefinitely, his case is indefinitely. It's not being rushed.
Right.
Why are you rushing Trump? That is a stupid case.
Well,
I know why. Don't get me
Okay,
wrong. I know
all
the
right,
answer why.
all right.
But the same law that applies to this guy should apply to Trump.
it's just like remember how Alvin Bragg had got Trump with that's one of the first indictments, right? But when it comes to all these people in New York City that are doing all these things left and right, we talk about every week on this show. Alvin Bragg is out to lunch.
Right.
Same reasons.
Right. There's a lady, I want you to know that, again, she was walking in the street, she was angry, and she pushed somebody, an old grandmother last year, and the grandmother fell down and bumped her head. She ran away, but she ended up turning herself in. This is what Alvin Bragg was busy about and giving her 8 years in jail for somebody that had a fight on the street, and it happens. It happens that I push you or you get angry. You don't put people in jail for negligent homicide, even though, especially if they never had the intent. This lady was walking in the street. She was angry. This lady, Masabi, bumped her, an old grandmother, and she cursed at her. And this grandmother came back, I guess, spoke to her, and she pushed the grandmother down. She fell down and bumped her head. The grandmother went on life support. She died. This lady ran away. She was in the neighborhood for 20 minutes and ran away. She ended up feeling so guilty, the stupid idiot, she turned herself in. She had no intent to kill the lady, and ended up she's taking that one count of manslaughter, and she's going to get 8 years in jail. Why would we want to lock this lady up? She's never going to kill again. She did something wrong. She was angry. She's never going to, and even if she pushes people, most people don't die when they push and fall down. It's a freak accident. This is what a Bragg is busy with. But a lady who walked around with a hammer and killed a lady and her 2 children today, I bet you that she gets off with probation. I bet you.
Well, you know why? Because Bragg was funded by Soros.
Yeah.
And Soros, again, he's done. We saw this in the Philadelphia.
What can we do in New York is
Chicago.
to change it. Come out to the protest.
November or November 7th. We still have an election. November 7th. You are on that ballot.
November 7th. HeshyTishler.com. You gotta come.
5318 16th Avenue.
Right,
Come on down.
Come volunteer for me. We're starting really to hit the streets in mid-September.
Got a new plan that the campaign
we
has
have
come
a new
up with.
campaign.
A new plan.
We are really going to change our idea. We have a great new campaign manager, a great new treasurer, 2 wonderful people, and they like to work late hours.
Yes,
I like to say hello.
Yes, we've seen that.
Heidi
Very
and George,
well.
I just want to wave out to you. I want you to know that we have a new plan. You're right. We have the Jewish holidays from September 27th for how long is it? Like 8 days?
About 10. About 10 days.
About 10 days. So in October, we're going to be concentrating. We're going to go knocking on the doors. We're going to bang it. I want to win. I don't want to lose. Me and Tom said, we're going to win. My campaign manager says, listen, Heshy, it's a tough battle, but we're not here to play the game just to put you on the ballot, even though we know that next year, most likely, there'll be a special election if Carmen Yeager wins. It's not if, because I plan on winning. I plan on you coming out. I talk to you people. I go to the events. You all come to me. You take pictures. I'm all over town. I'm volunteering. I'm working for you. And it's not that I'm doing it because I'm going to do it anyways. I have the energy.
And we have here a call coming in.
We have a call. Oh, gosh.
And our
finally.
producer,
I guess my
needs to pick it
producer
up.
finally picked up the phone. You know,
Yes.
I pay for these phone lines. He made me buy 5-6 telephones. And we don't pay, whatever.
We are waiting here, so let's dial.
Go ahead. Who's on the phone? And my
You know who's
Instagram,
on
my
the phone.
Instagram went dead, by
Stop
the way.
blaming your producer. I've been waiting all night to get on.
We are having technical difficulties.
We are,
Good to be
Lenny.
with
One
you.
of my Instagram, it's the smaller one that went down anyways. The main one didn't go down at
You
all.
hear me?
I hear you, Lenny. Lenny, I have a question for you, Lenny. What you're doing is protesting against the migrants is wrong. We should not only have the 100,000 migrants, we should bring another 100,000 migrants in. I think that's the right thing to do. Is that correct?
You should have started that off with your joke. My question is this. Yeah, my question is this. Where's this guy Schumer? Huh? Let's call him on the carpet, Mr. Senator, because if this was Donald Trump doing that, you'd sure have enough to say with that other old bag, Nancy Pelosi, all right? And before I get cut off, please, you want to quit. You said earlier you get disgusted. You, Scott Lebedo, we need more mouthpieces like Scott and yourself. There's a big rally Sunday, 2 p.m.
Yeah, let's
at
put it up.
Gracie
Hold on,
Mansion.
let's put it on the screen.
Right.
Producer, put that rally up on the screen. When is it? It's Sunday,
We're gonna
August
have
at 2 o'clock
people
at
there.
Gracie Mansion.
Right, we're going to have people there from the neighborhood of Staten Island, from the neighborhood of Creedmoor, from the neighborhood of Flatbush Avenue with Floyd Bennett Field there.
They have
I mean,
John
this is
Matland. Hold on,
ridiculous.
John Matland is talking?
Well, you know him. I mean,
I do
I'll,
know.
I would say no comment on that.
Who's Cara Castrovo? Oh, I like Cara. I happen to like Cara. And John Tobacco. What a cool dude. I love
Yes, John
John.
was
John
there actually at the
Tobacco will
debate.
be there. Exactly. Curtis Sleever will be there. He was there tonight. These people, whoever's in charge of putting these migrants there, they're $1 million homes. I was sitting right next
By the way,
to the guy
Instagram,
who
right over here. I
walked
don't know
out.
if you can see it, Instagram, on my regular YouTube and thing. This is it. This is the flyer. But I will post the flyer as a regular posting on my Instagram later on. But right now, wow, it came up so nice on the screen. I'm very proud of my producer. But my question to you is, and here's my question to you, Lenny. Is it possible that these protests are going to help? Will we be able to make a change? Is it really possible?
You know what, Heshy? Go back to what you said in the middle of the program. A revolution. We're on the verge of one.
But you're talking
Yes,
as a
how much could
Lenny.
we
You're
take?
treason. Lenny, you're treasonous to the country. They're gonna.
Okay, so treason. But how much could we take? I told you a long time ago. We're the worker bees. Okay, we're the worker bees. Donald Trump came into office and he wanted to drain the swamp. You know what I want to bring out tonight? There was a female reporter from the New York Times. She came over to me and my friend Patty. Okay, we were standing in front of Scott LeBato's truck. She started a conversation with us. We were very nice. We were going back and forth, and then we bring up the politics. And I says to her, "You ready for her answer?" And Tom, you're going to like this answer. I looked at her and I says, "Let me ask you something. With the Democrats and everybody else with the hating of Donald Trump, what did he do that you people, the Democrats, the woke, and everything like that, what did he do that was so bad that you hate him the way you do?" Now, she's a reporter for the New York Times. Do you know what she brought up, the first subject? Well, he's against climate change. Climate change has been going around for thousands of years. Yeah. Okay?
I want
Look
and
into it.
Lenny, I did.
Study
I had something I want to bring. I want you to know that since 2000, we've increased the greenery in this world by 15%. 15% we've increased because of your stupid laws on climate change. And what has it done for us?
So what is
Nothing.
China doing about
Nothing.
the climate
Right.
change?
But I'm
What
saying
is
nothing.
China doing about the
Forget
climate
about China and
What
Europe
is
and all of
DiCaprio
that.
doing about it? He's always on those jets with all that gas he guzzles.
So my point to you is it doesn't make a difference. We have increased the greenery by 15% on this earth. Nothing has changed.
Heshy, she's a female reporter from the Gray Lady, the New York Times. And when I'm calmly talking like I am now, when I asked her, what was so bad about Donald Trump? The market was up. We weren't at war with anybody. He put his feet on North Korea, okay? There wasn't a war between Ukraine and Russia. What did he do? A reporter for the New York Times turns to me and says she was against climate. That's what you're going to hit me with?
Well,
I
just know one thing.
You're an intelligent writer for the, well, supposedly intelligent. No, you're woke, lady. Yeah. You're woke with your green sneakers on and your unmade body that you have there. That's what you are.
Lenny, we're going to have to say goodbye in about 30 seconds to our audience, our listening audience on the radios. So one last comment
to you. Make sure that they go to Gracie Manson.
But I want to ask you a question. I'm going to tell him about Gracie Manson. We're going to post it again. But Lenny, do you think that even if we have protests all the time, do you think this will make a change? Do you think the mayor's listening to you? He's laughing at you and me. He's on vacation right now, and he's out clubbing right now.
Why is the mayor, any mayor for that matter, why is the mayor in Israel? That's a thing where the president should be. Right. But he probably couldn't find it anyway.
Well, I gave you my point on that.
He's
in there because he's in a Democratic.
We're going to say goodbye, Lenny. I love you. Thank you, my audience from the three channels.
I'll hang out. Don't hang up.
Okay, no problem. 1640. Thank you for listening to us. Channel 620. We lost them at 93.5 FM. Thank you for joining us tonight. And we still have 5 minutes left, DeVoe. So you just keep those comments coming. I love you, DeVoe.
Well, I want to ask you.
Yeah.
Do you think this is the end? When do you think it's going to stop?
I think that it's not going. That's what we're telling you. That even when they have us in control, and you saw that during the pandemic, that they had us in control. They locked us up, and we stood there like little girls. They found more ways to torture us. We're fighting back, but they know that you always have to take 2 steps back, and then they let you take 1 step forward. And you think you stepped forward.
You just said the key word, fighting back. We have to continue with the protest. Do I think it's going to change? No. But you know what? sooner or later the media has to pay attention to
They
us.
don't. I was
That
watching.
guy with the dad said
I'm
500
watching the
people.
media.
I was there.
I'm
There was
watching.
1,000.
But you know what? I'm watching videos of the media. They're given certain words. They're told over and over again to repeat. You know how it works in advertising. You go and you keep telling them the name and the number over and over and over and over again. Even I, who don't eat not kosher, know that 2 whole beef patty, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun. What is that? Burger King or
That's McDonald's.
Who cares? I don't even care. But I just know in my head. I wake up in the morning. I hear 2 whole beef. And
You
when
must be craving that.
I'm dying. I've been dreaming about 2 whole.
You want to try one?
I know, but I'm not allowed to. So every time I do the hamburgers barbecue at
Maybe
home,
we should get Kevin
I
Stone
make
back
myself
on the
2
show
whole
for that.
beef patties. I make my own special sauce, which is not so good. I can't
special,
use
huh?
lettuce and cheese. I mean, I can use lettuce, but no cheese. But now I found this not
Heshy,
dairy
get
cheese.
Yarmulke off. Go to Newark. They don't know you. Get your 2 sauces.
Well,
happy. Whatever you want.
You see, Lenny, honor means not that I wear the yarmulke or not. Honor means I follow my faith because I want to, not because I'm scared of anybody seeing me. I can go to Burger King anytime I want. I can run around with women if I wanted to. I can do anything I wanted to. I can hide. There's some people that are just stupid. I can hide and do anything bad that I want to. I don't want to. I want to force myself into going to synagogue. Woman, I want to force myself to wear a yarmulke to remind myself that I am a Jew, that I am a citizen. Everybody makes fun of my little American pin. Oh, Heshy, you wear that American pin. Yeah. I want not only everybody to see it, I want to remind myself I'm an American.
Right, but you know, and I agree with you. But you know what? On a whole, we've lost those values. And here's a perfect example. I'm saying there was about 1,000 people there at this protest tonight.
Yep.
And you know what? Not one bottle was tossed at a police officer. Not one rock was thrown at a
But the
police
Staten
officer.
Island Advance will tell you, well, they were people that they were in the community and they vote for Trump. And the Advance and the editor there who was telling people during COVID that anybody who didn't have a mask was un-American and we're not going to put any pictures on our paper unless somebody has a mask in a current. And I wear my mask even when I'm driving. And, that's the mentality of our papers. But look, people have to fight back. And, obviously Sunday...
Guys, they're going to get us. This time we got lucky. We were able to get from out under the rock. We're not fully from under the rock, but we got lucky. They do this to us again, and we give in. We're dead.
We have to fight back.
I'm going to keep fighting. Lenny, I'm not going to...
People have to realize who this guy Scott Lebedo is.
Right.
Look him up on the internet.
I will. But Lenny, we have 1 minute left to the show, so I want to say a parting comment. Devorah, anything for our parting guests? Just say, I love America.
Oh, I love America.
So do I. And I want you to know, if this happens to us, we're not going to be able to fight back. So I'm going to keep fighting. I'm not going to let them do it to us. I don't want to go to jail again for you guys because nobody came out to support me last time I was in jail.
Well, John Matland can do that for you, or somebody else.
Okay. No, but Curtis Lewa and John Matland getting arrested, they get out right away and nobody's even looking to prosecute. My prosecutor came after me hard. He came after me and after me and after me and after me. Here, Curtis Lewa gets out and they drop the charges 2 days later. Welcome, everybody, to the show. Goodbye, everybody from the show. We'll see you next
morning,
Wednesday.
good evening, good
Good
afternoon.
evening. Goodbye. And let's play the music.
Thank you,
Producer was
everybody.
great.
And
Thank you
goodbye
for coming
to
out.
Josh Bailey. Check me out on YouTube.
What about your other
Sports
friend,
Radio.
Finkel? What's his
Anthony
name?
J. Finkel.
Anthony J. Finkel, like the president.
And
Play.
you can check me out. I'm on YouTube at Sportsfire Radio. Instagram,
That's right. Don't
Sportsfire
forget my
2021.
beautiful Tom. And don't forget, everybody clap for Devorah. Wonderful job.
Devorah.